Progress, do a little screen share, just you all to look real nice and pretty in my window. There we go. There we go. Okay. Welcome back, everybody, to another wonderful session of Space Fantasy. You have all really come around since your dramatic loss of the New Dawn and its captain, and then an inevitable capture by the Mind Flayers. In a couple of days, you really turned things around. You now have your own ship, Damselfly, which is a little more cramped and holy moly, excuse me. Which is maybe a little more cramped than the galleon size of the New Dawn, but it suits your purposes. The Dawn's return, as it has been dubbed, under the captainship of Captain, not Rockozzle, but Voidlight, Mr. Marsh Voidlight, Captain Voidlight. And there you are. And so you've been traveling along because you've accepted a quest. You are seeking the lost treasures of an Illithid lair long abandoned. A Captain Tarnak, a seasoned spelljamming veteran of the Rock of Brawl, has hired you on as a crew to retrieve the legendary treasures rumored to be hidden in this long abandoned lair, located in the deepest reaches of this wild space system. You will face many challenges such as navigating asteroid fields, dealing with the lingering Illithid traps, facing rival treasure hunters. Who knows what else? And in return, you will receive a significant sum of the gold, perhaps a couple rare artifacts that are from around, and maybe even a potential alliance with Captain Tarnak if you impress him with your performance. And so you have set off. You've done much so far as you've traveled through space these past couple days. You met a hobgoblin scorpion ship and told them to fuck off, basically, because they looked a little too scro for you. You saw a beautiful turtle ship, just gorgeous, flying along with a number of auto gnomes on the back, waving hello, and the temptation to overtake it was deeply desirable. But better judgment prevailed, or the deep resilience of one particular crew member. And after that, you were attacked by a Githyanki warband who dropped out of wild space, and out of nowhere, this warband dropped and attacked you all. Only two warriors and the knight themselves got away. My question is, does anyone remember the name of that knight? His name was Kithrak something.
Let me see. That noted on his full
I
name.
only remember Kithrak, which I
Kithrak
believe means
Viren.
Viren. Thank you. Sorry, I for some reason didn't keep
Kithrak,
track of
yeah.
that in my calendar. Yeah, Kithrak is his title. Kithrak Viren. Excellent. And with that, you have won the battle, but these two Githyanki have gotten away, but the rest were defeated in battle. You have accumulated their loot, I believe, already.
Yeah.
But now we stand in the aftermath of the battle, so let's pick it up from there. What would you all like to do as you float here in the wild space system?
Right. Sorry. The ornate dagger scabbard. We identified that, did we not? As it's non-magical or anything like that.
Yeah, the scabbard was not magical, but
Yeah.
it had
That's
a
right,
decent value.
I had something wrote down, but I can't remember. So the plans that I've got for the silver greatsword, I'm gonna hand over to the captain and just say, "Found these, Captain. They may be useful to you or someone else on the ship. Won't be for me, so have at it.
Very good.
And I'll keep the rest of the stuff that I found."
I would prefer to have taken a sword from the Kithrak himself, but perhaps making my own would suffice.
And if you look at these schematics, Captain, they're very complex. works. This is a very advanced weapon. It is, and the thing with well, I think anyone would know because like getting your weapon silvered is a fairly normal practice. It coats the weapon in a silver sheen because it can't. If it's just silver, it's not a very durable metal. So it's just a coating. But this is like a pure silver blade, and it's infused with a number of alchemical reagents. One of which is actually like the essence of like a mind flayer's brain. So it's a very advanced piece of weaponry, and will require a very skilled smith to create, along with a number of very rare ingredients. But that's you have in your possession the schematics for Githyanki's silver greatsword, their most famous weapon.
I'll hang on to that.
All right, fair enough.
Captain.
Yes,
It's good to be able to see and hear you and not consider that maybe some Githyanki took you away and left us captainless. But that wouldn't happen at all. Maybe that's just my crazy mind playing tricks on me. And Ed's saying this as he's actually he's saying this looking at the captain, but his hands are working on epoxy. As I am going to, if I can, because we are out of initiate, could I give them a little bit of a cure wounds action? Is that allowed?
Yeah, of course.
So that is I've 1d8 plus 4. That is the first time I've healed in my D&D career, y'all, for sure.
Hey, congratulations.
Thank you. I am honored to take the first of your heal.
Let me see if I can give
That's
you
what I'm going to say whenever I go into surgery with a brand new surgeon. I am honored to take the first of your heals.
How banged up does epoxy look? How many dents do they have?
They should be in decent.
Oh,
They should be getting into decent shape right now. Chaplin already started mending them at the end of last session.
yeah, I'm a little more than halfway, but a little bit more would be I would be thankful for that.
All right, so I'm just gonna do the first level. There's a full 8 plus 4.
Whoa!
So Ed uses his magic. Well, Ed sort of maybe that you put your gun away and you pull out another contraption, and it sort of like modifies itself with the switch of a button until a long, thick syringe appears, and he's like, "Just hold real still," and then he like jams it right into your shoulder, injects the liquid, and a magical alchemical reagent will help some of those platings sort of fold and transmute on themselves and seal it shut. And you're looking a little better.
While being a little sassy to the captain. Just a little sassy.
Thank you, Ed.
I was merely taking a defensive precaution, Ed. I fight better when my enemies can't see.
Okay, I trust you, Captain. I really do. But I just think just a little word. I think or at least letting Basan know if you're about to go. What should we call it? What would you like it? Sneaky feels a little silly, but you know what I mean. If you're about to lock in or something, just let Basan know. That way we still have chain of command. I'm very unused to this, but my father used to say there's foundation in command. So that's all.
Jordan Axbeard will say, "Oh, is my leadership not good enough for you? Were you not liking those D4s I was providing?"
I trust you all to be able to handle yourselves in a fight with or without my orders, and Axbeard rightly points out I brought him on partly for his tactical prowess. I would rather you followed his commands in the heat of battle rather than mine.
Ed nods respectfully. He locks the because I just found out what he does too, and so did Ed. I'm sorry about that, by the way. I meant no disrespect to the dwarven.
Yeah, he goes, I'm just ribbing you, young lad. It's all
Are you
right.
okay, by the way? You have a giant. That was just disgusting. It was. all
No,
over.
I'm pretty banged up, and he'll remove his thumb from the hole in his shoulder, and he'll go, and blood will spew out a little bit, and then he'll reinsert his thumb into the wound.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, I'm not doing great, but that's all right. I'll patch you up just soon enough.
Well, let's get rid of these bodies and patch ourselves up, and then be ready to move back into cruise.
All right. He the Ezir goes, and he's gonna walk over to one of the bodies and go and kick it off the side. And I'll go wee, sort of float in a wild space.
What kind of armor are they wearing?
The Ezir or the Githyanki?
The Githyanki.
Let's find out. Githyanki, blah 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 blah. These are just warriors.
Are they in half plate?
Looking. Yes, they are. These guys are in Githyanki half plate.
Bisan will ready herself, stripping one of the Githyanki of their armor.
Got it. And you may definitely do so. And I will send a picture to the chat so you can get a sense of what this armor looks like. Because these were all male, these will all be identical to the picture.
Oh man, I could use that, and I don't think I can wear it because I'm small.
Yeah, definitely meant
that's
for a medium
sick.
creature, unfortunately.
Does anyone here Smith?
I am proficient in Smith's tools.
Maybe the Smith could resize it. It's going smaller, so there's enough material.
How many half plate can we get?
We could get two.
You have. Buddy just kicked one off the side, a little preemptively, maybe before per command. But that is two bodies. So 2 pieces of Githyanki half plate.
Oh, go ahead, you
They
two.
also do have great swords with them, and the image that you see, I think the sword looks a little small, but big old Githyanki great sword. But that's generally the style of weaponry. Big curve, looks like a scimitar.
So we send the dragon to go and get it. The gift that he picked off. If you want the other one.
Oh yeah, the body will just be bobbing. It's just the gravity plane.
Yeah, you just fish it. You just fish it
Yeah,
out. It's
or
just bobbing in the gravity.
Fish out the body after it.
After it, yeah, it retrieves the body easy enough. The Azir starts jumping up and down, going, "Oh, these are at the dragon." The dragon just kind of like he's like, "What? Fuck off."
I mean, it might have looked like a game of fetch.
Yeah, I get honestly.
Now, I've not looted enough bodies to call myself a veteran on it, but it's a good idea to do this. And any and all spare resources we'll have will make my life easier, and therefore the crew's life easier. I hope. But
It is
Is
wise to not
half-plate
waste resources.
Is like, assuming these are three sets of Githyanki half plate, are they in good enough nick to use?
Good point. Let me go find out. I love my little harvesting loot table because it does all that for me. But they have just been in battle, so you're right. There is a chance that they are a little too damaged to be utilized now. But let's go find out.
And they might be able to be repaired as well. We've got
yes,
folks
that's
who can do that.
absolutely true.
Yeah.
That's absolutely true. All right, Githyanki warrior. Let's see how your armor is doing, buddy boy. Carrying. Okay. One of the plates are severely damaged. So of terrible, terrible quality. Like, can be repaired, but like it's hanging on by a thread. One of the others is completely destroyed, as I believe one of you guys, there was like a dragon breath and apoxy like ripped one of their hearts out through their chest and stuff. So that guy's fucked up. The last one is pretty banged up but wearable. So yeah, one needs repairs, one's wearable, one's destroyed. So you got 2 sets of half plate, one needs repairs before.
Well, 1.5 out of 3 isn't bad.
I'd probably touch that one up, make it 2. But it'll be a day or so. You know,
Please do.
This is
I'm like,
Ed, this is for after I do training. I don't need it now or very soon. So chaplain first.
oh yeah, that was actually Ed's been looking at epoxy this whole time. You know, I was thinking epoxy might benefit potentially. And then like looking at like the holes epoxy has and being like, I wonder if I can just patch that up with extra armor. But yeah, you know, I can also, you know, make 2 sets extra good today. And then again, it'll be a couple days, so
We're about to hit a Illithid prison
travel.
soon. We're gonna have some stuff that we can loot from there shortly.
Cool.
My intention is to stay out of the close battle in general. So the folks that are up front should get the armor first.
That's a fair take too. Very level-headed too, Chaplain. Are you sure you didn't get hit hard? Very fast.
I don't need a lot. My primary intention is to serve.
Well, my door's always open, and I believe Captain said hit cruise control again, so I'm gonna go make my way over there. You guys can still loot the bodies while we're moving, so no use of just floating here. Besides, we don't know how close those Githyanki are.
Otto sort of rolls up beside you, and one of the arms sort of like reattaches itself to a back, and then it sort of like unarmors itself back into like a portion of your backpack, and then Otto just sort of re-jumps back on your shoulder and kind of looks happy that he helped out in the battle.
You're fantastic. I had no intention of you being hurt. Don't accuse me of that. And fine. Next time we'll position you somewhere a little bit more in the center. I got you.
And it'll just sort of like rub his little head against you as if to be like, "Oh, I love you." Yeah, and you can head downstairs. To which Celine Starshade, who's still on the Spelljammer helm, looking very tense, is like, "Hey, Mr. Jord, is everything all right up there? Did we win? Are we okay? What happened?"
Okay, it was a few Githyanki, their leader, and 2 of them got away. Were you the one? I saw some arcane missiles come out of nowhere. Was that you?
Yeah, that was me. It's really the only one I could do without having to see what I was trying to hit. And I sent the Azier up. I hope he was helpful.
Holy shit, that guy too. Okay, this is really good having you here while stuff happens there, because they're gonna need me when we get attacked. So I'm very glad that, like, I don't think we formally met, and Ed'll offer.
Oh yeah, I'm Celine Starshade. It's a pleasure to meet you, Mr. Jord. I'm a wizard of the Conjuration School.
Oh, nice. Finally, for a second there, I was worried I was the only one that was kind of smart. It's a hard title to wear for me. I like supporting others, you know. So I'm glad.
I like to think myself a little smart, as you put it. It's good to always have a colleague in the intellectual arts.
Absolutely. they're divvying up goods over there. I don't think there's anything you're gonna use, but again, that was awesome. So thank you so much. Now Captain wants to take us to cruise, and I feel like we're gonna probably have a crew talk. So do you mind staying on duty for a little bit
No,
longer?
no, not at all. Not at all. Am I not going to be involved in the crew talk? Is that what you mean? Am I
Oh
not?
no, I just think we should get moving since we got attacked here. But obviously, once it gets moving, you can get off either too. So
All right, yeah, fair enough. The wings sort of beat for a second before the ship blasts to cruise speed. All the stars sort of turn into great lines scattering across the front of the ship, and the wings sort of furl into the sides. You guys aren't like lifted off the back or anything. You guys, your gravity stays nice and centered, but you guys have entered cruise speed. Won't be a good idea to leave the gravity plane anytime soon. As you all witnessed you're on the last ship you jumped off of.
Yeah.
But yeah, you guys go back to cruise speed. Fantastic. With that, oh yeah, go ahead.
Hassan, do you want this piece of half plate, or should I take it first before the other one was repaired?
I do not need it anytime soon. You need it now. Take it now.
Very well. I'll take the wearable half plate and give the damaged one to Ed to repair.
Incredible. All right. You guys all continue your travels through the Astral Sea. As a reminder, you guys are going to arrive in a couple of days. Yeah, it was a 18-day trip, so you guys are going to be there in a little bit.
we got
You still got quite a few days to go.
Yeah. So Ed will be in the workshop area, and he'll start cooking up. Line them up. Got 2 infusions a day, and I'll do a Smith's tool check, I guess, or something like that.
Yeah, to repair the armor. Do you have a smithing tool set?
Yeah, I've got Smith's tools, thieves tools, tinker tools, and wood carvers.
Do you possess those though?
Yeah, you get crab loads as an artificer.
Oh no,
You don't actually have the tool sets. You could
no,
have.
I just have. Yeah, I just have. In my inventory, I just have thieves tools actually.
All right. Then I'm afraid you're not going to be doing any smithing anytime soon. You're going to need to actually have the tools in order to be able to smith.
I'm also thinking you need stuff to smith on, right? Like
yeah, you need yeah, like there. And this is the funny thing about D&D is like as long as you have smith tools, you can make whatever you want. But like if you really, but in real life, you need a fucking like
a furnace,
a forge,
but a forge. Yeah, forge. I said furnace. There's my knowledge.
So yeah, you will need the tool sets in order to successfully be able to actually start crafting or repairing in any sense.
So I think if Varsh was coming first, you'll just see Ed standing at the workshop being like, "Oh, I may have forgotten we're no longer on the dawn." So he's been saying that to himself until you find him.
I mean, I'll just hand off the armor, and if you can't make it now, we'll do something about it when we get back to the Rock of Brawl. Have you seen epoxy anywhere?
Yeah, for me?
Yes.
Not since I patched them up. You two should probably talk on your own, Cap. That's probably a good idea. Hey, by the way, did I overstep earlier? I'm on your side, Captain, because we had that talk, and we're both in agreement on what we have to do. And that's kind of like
not at all, but do not be overly concerned about me. If I'm being totally candid, you are the main priority. What you know and what is etched into your body is far more important than my life. I am replaceable. You're not, and if you are captured, all is lost.
And Ed just kind of clicks the other side of his cheek when you say that and goes, "Yeah, I keep that in mind, Cap. But thanks for the reminder. We should by the way, we need a workshop. We just kind of have some boxes down there and some goat hair. I don't know where that. Well, now I know where that came from, but yeah, we need an actual workshop. So throw that on the list. I'm gonna
Keep
make
that
a
in
list
mind.
of stuff I need. And so I'll add that one first.
I'll do my best to get you what you need.
All right, Captain.
And I go looking for epoxy.
It shouldn't be too hard. It's a pretty small ship. Epoxy, where are you hanging out at in the aftermath of the battle?
I think Epoxy would have taken a sentry's rest down by the storage, I believe it was.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you head into the storage where Captain Tarnak and Savarsh Yolenka are hanging out. He's like, so you're what is a Shisao? Oh, don't worry about all of that. I'm just a fellow traveler. And they're just sort of talking. Apoxy's in the corner, in the dark corner, sort of staring menacingly at open space. And you could find her there, Captain.
Oh, it's rather lively in here.
Welcome.
I look to Savage and Tarnak and just say, I need a private moment with Epoxy. If you'd step outside, please.
Oh, very well. You are the captain. And he'll step out, and Captain Tarnak will just quietly leave with a little nod of the head.
Captain.
How are you doing after the battle? You look to be in quite
Better
wretched shape.
Oh, I have been healed tremendously by Chaplain and Ed, so I'm doing well now.
I wanted to first commend you for putting your life on the line like that for the rest of the crew. It's admirable. And I appreciate it.
Was my duty. And it only feels right for me to do so.
I did also want to discuss the matter of the ship that passed by and your outburst.
That was wrong. After hearing your command, Captain.
I understand that. It dawned on me that I don't understand you very well. You and Chaplain were both made with someone's intentions in mind. You weren't born. Chaplain is at least somewhat easy to understand. They were created to follow their god. Yes, they are chaotic and like to play pranks, but it all makes sense. But I don't know what you were made for, or what drives you, what goal is you were intended for. And I'd like to know.
Well, I can't entirely say I know too much about myself, but if a captain of mine or master gives me an order, I am to do it at my utmost importance.
Almost sounds like you were made to be a soldier then.
I do believe that.
Well, for the future then, let me lay out some, I guess, rules, shall we say. First is obey the captain's orders. In moments of peril, or when a situation is urgent, delay and debate can cost lives. So, if I give an order, please follow it. When danger is past and the situation is resolved, if you have any objections, you can voice them to me then. But in the moment, follow. I shoulder the responsibility.
Yes, Captain.
Second, this is something you're already doing, but the Dawn's return is priority. The well-being of the crew is priority. Protect your crewmates when times of peril and support them when they need you. Third, we're not altruists. We have a goal and a purpose: to avenge the New Dawn and slay the Prophet. When we work for a price, and we are not above acts of piracy.
Yes, Captain.
Finally, unless stated otherwise, use lethal force in combat. On reflection, the mistake the Prophet made with us is that he allowed us to live. He should have executed us, not captured us, as we are now on the path of vengeance. And I don't want another party to have be on the same path against us.
That was terrible what happened then. And I'll make sure to follow your orders to the best of my abilities.
Good. I refuse to lose you all. You're this crew. It's important to me. I've lost everything twice before. It won't happen a third time. That is all.
Alright, I'm gonna sentries rest here. Still gotta get my wires all plugged in.
Understood. Another thing. This isn't so much an order, but maybe a request. Back on the Rock of Brawl, after I herded the damn sharks, when I came out, it looked like you torn yourself to shreds.
Yeah, that shark did a number on me.
Can I roll insight on that? That sounds
Yeah,
like a
sure you
bad lie.
can. Yeah, make a deception check, Epoxy. Make a deception check.
I got a nat 1.
I
All
got
right.
10, so I guess I beat that.
Yeah, you recall, Barsh, that you were very careful to ensure that none got out of the room, and you were successful in that matter. And as you exited, you recognized that Apox used the rest of the party was in perfect health and did not look distressed at all. But Apoxy singularly was just like ripped apart by familiar markings, by familiar like scraping and bite marks that
like
you've
to
seen on your
add,
enemies.
I haven't used my rage since then.
Well, you've used it in this last battle to get the Yankee.
No, I used only my tail and claws.
Oh, right, you haven't used the bite since then yet.
So I try to make it not obvious.
Got it. So you know what's happened, Kavarsh. You can put two and two together.
I know that you are prone to moments of great fury, and in a fight, very valuable. Just in the future, take care not to harm yourself or others.
All right. I'll not harm myself or others, most importantly. Again.
I'll leave you to your rest. And I leave, giving a nod to, I guess, the Savage and the other captain who were waiting outside.
Fantastic. Is there anything anyone else wants to do before we set into the time fly by a little bit?
I would like to start slowly when I can over a period of time. So the most important element of this is going to be being careful and taking note of my opportunities. But I would like to slowly start like displacing things inside of Varsh's quarters so that they're just in a different location than where he left them. But he knows that I'm a trickster, so not obvious, like really subtly, so that he doesn't immediately know it's me. He's just not sure that he didn't put it in a different place.
Got it. So you know that like this is a pretty small ship. All of you have literally like one sleeping quarters, unless you hung your hammock somewhere else. Like I think Apoxy, Chaplain, you guys sleep in different places. The captain that you're transporting, he's sleeping in the cargo hold for now. But Zalace has his hammock down in the ballista. There's a technical word for the room, but in the lower deck. I want to get a good name for that because words. Forward deck. There it is. Oh, cool. I'm just learning right now that the forward deck that you're on, Zalace, it's underneath the gravity plane. So when you're in there, you're walking on the ceiling. Because that's your
Goes on my back. Goes on my Batman cape.
Yeah, you're just saying the ceiling, exactly. Fantastic. So anyway, cool detail. But anyway, point being, Chaplain, is that you're all in a bit cramped quarters. So even the captain doesn't have his own quarters, but he still has his bag, which he probably leaves in the crew quarters. So if you want to go reorganize his bag a little bit, just subtly here and there, why don't you make me a stealth check to start?
Or either that or subtly move his bag, either way. But yeah, all right, stealth check. Ooh, maybe you put the stuff that's on the top of his bag at the bottom. You know how like it's irritating when you have to dig around for stuff?
Yeah.
12.
12. Who's got a passive perception above 12?
I mean, I have 12.
12? He'll beat 12 because that you would be setting the DC. He's beating it.
Okay.
So
I have
above
14.
12, anyone? 14. Basan, you do. Okay. Ed and Basan will catch you going into the crew quarters. However, there isn't anything really that weird about it. It's up to you two if you think anything weird of it, because Chaplain usually sleeps on the deck, but it isn't weird for a crew to go into the crew quarters. So unless you think your character's like weirdly paranoid enough to be like, wait a second, he's a robot. Why would a robot want to go into the sleeping quarters? It makes no sense. It's a bit ridiculous, but unless your character is like that paranoid, like I don't think you'd think anything.
To be fair, the precedent to this point has been that Chaplain does normally join them for some human or human activities. Like he joins them for meals, even though he doesn't eat, etc.
Yeah, he could be going to pick up something. So yeah, you guys see him go in, but that in and of itself isn't a incredibly strange thing for anyone to do, you know?
This is all Ed does is, hey, Chaplain.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it.
Apparently Chaplin's just doesn't answer you as he walks away. So Chaplin, you're in the corridors. Apparently you got, I'm not sure if he's here. He kind of got up and left. I'm gonna wait for him to get back. This is kind of weird. I'm gonna wait for him to get
This is
back.
real Chaplin.
I know, in the middle of his thing, he just gets up and leaves. I'm gonna wait for him to get back. I'm like,
I'll DM Chaplin when he finds my bag since he's rummaging through it.
yeah. So we'll come back to that, I guess.
I need to come back to it because Ryan's dismay is like, this has never happened before.
Yeah, honestly, I'm like, this is your thing. Why are you leaving? Yes, Basan, yes.
Yeah. So when Bisan, because apparently she sees this, when she sees it, she's on her way to find the captain.
All right. Cool.
I'm sorry, I've been trying to get your.
Yeah, everyone's gonna get their turn. Just,
well, no,
I
just
Chaplain first.
I know that might link into what's happening. That's all.
Yeah, you walk by, you see Chaplain go in the crew quarters, and you're like, cool. Maybe not even that much.
Okay.
Anyway, Chaplain, are you with us, my friend?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm back.
Okay. So you go in. Ed gives you a little like, "Hey, Chaplain," as you're like going into the crew quarters. Basan walks by, and yeah, as you go inside, make me a. I want you to make this is sort of almost like a reverse check in a way, like you're trying to, or you know what? This is a deception. Make me a deception check to like see if you can do it subtly enough that he won't catch on.
No, I got a 6.
A 6. Okay. What's your passive insight, Varsh?
How's it? 15.
15.
Wow.
Chaplain walks out and is like, "Damn it, fool's gold, you've done it again," and like walks away. Varsh, whenever you end up going back to, probably tonight, probably this evening, so not now, but this evening, whenever you go back to your bag, like your bag is fully reorganized. Like it's not subtle at all. Like things are he probably just dumped your bag out and put them back in a way that he thought was funny. And it's super inconvenient.
I'm just
and
imagining
it's very obvious.
It's like, fool's gold, you did it again. And if Ash be stood right there, be like, done what?
Chaplain doesn't have an internal voice.
He's a robot. They never installed that. He's just it gets in the way of his trickery every now and then. Okay, so but anyway, Basan, very easily you find Captain Voidlight. And I'm gonna make everything slightly inconvenient for you folks because this is a very small ship. So as you're leaving, Varsh, Basan finds her way into the cargo hold as Apoxy returns to Century's Rest. And yeah. From there.
The sun.
How above the table? So Apoxy is in Sentry's Rest, but that's the only other person in our immediate vicinity.
Correct. As far as you can tell.
As far as I can tell.
It's also a big empty cargo hold, so yeah, that's the only person.
Yeah, so Bisan will stand close and will speak in GIF and in a quiet voice.
Okay.
I know a couple swear words.
Permission to speak frankly.
Speak.
We don't need to steal from the innocent because we want more. We don't need to. And that will cause complications further down the line. Consider the entertainment for your mistress. Sure, killing a prisoner is a fun watch-ish, maybe, but watching the war tribunal afterwards, not so much. The juice isn't worth the squeeze, Captain.
I wouldn't take any perverse pleasure in preying on the innocent. In my heart, I'd like to avoid it. But when I think of losing the new dawn, of the threat that the Prophet poses, I worry being too kind will lead to losses too great. Not just losing this ship or any of you, but losing whole planets, whole systems, because I was kind.
I understand being ruthless with enemies. But there is no quick revenge. We are playing a long game now. We have to think of complications. If we had access to a Githyanki ship that had attacked us, no mercy.
When I think back to the turtle ship that's passed by, I think if we had taken it, we would have been able to fulfill the mission back on the Rock of Brawl in Ikatha. We would have gained access to valuable resources.
I see. But there are other means of getting a ship, the same ship.
That same ship is 40,000 gold pieces that could take years to amass.
It took us days to get the damselfly, and we thought we had nothing.
Well, then we would be relying on Ed's genius a second time. That's a gamble. And every time he does make something, a new brand of warfare and advancement in the technology of killing, we will have to sell it. And when we sell it, it may end up in the hands of our enemies. The next time we see the Mind Flayers, they may very well have a ship filled to the brim with quadratures.
We can assume that they will. We have to assume that they will. They took his father's inventions, they would take his. What I'm saying is not everything is a direct route. And sometimes the consequences down the line complicate things. This is a long game now.
And what happens when we take too long? What do we do if we're dragging our feet and we see a whole wild space system obliterated?
We move at a consistent pace. We're hurrying as much as we can, but people who move from fear make mistakes. Critical ones. And I don't know that we can afford to make mistakes.
I'll put your request on hold for now, and I recommend you speak with Ed. I don't know how forthcoming he'll be, but he understands the threat the Prophet poses better than I do. And maybe his explanation will make you realize that my fear is very much justified.
I understand. I concede that now. With not needing to talk. Yes. But there's a difference between moving from urgency and moving from fear. I'm not criticizing you. I'm asking you to consider something different.
Sorry, I'm thinking. We have both lost everything. Well,
Twice. I'm anxious to meet the Prophet again.
It's not just the Prophet, it is losing everything twice. I don't want it to happen a third time. A better ship, better resources, piracy, all of these things, amassing power, means that we're less likely to lose everything. We operated on the straight and narrow, more or less, on the New Dawn, and all was lost.
We were ambushed from within. That's what happened. No more, no less. They won that round. And then they let us live. And now we've evolved.
If I reject your counsel and engage in ruthlessness, regardless, what will you do?
You know I will not kill prisoners. You've known that going in.
I don't plan to take prisoners.
I understand. I will follow your orders in the field. But when we get back to the Rock of Brawl, I will find my way to the Githzerai. I will not mutiny. I will leave amicably. But I have other means to fight the Prophet. I can reach those ends from a dreadnought.
Sorry, chaplain. must bring this up with the whole crew.
I did this privately.
I understand that.
I don't need. This can be quiet between us.
I don't want the crew to fracture over a conflict of morals. I'd rather we're all in agreement about how to proceed. And I would hate for you to leave. I value your counsel. I value our friendship, and I don't want this to be something that leads to the crew for parting ways.
I agree. Should we do that after this mission?
Very well.
There is a popping sound, and emerging before you is the Savage Laka. And he sort of looks at you two and he goes, nonsense. Let's talk about this now. And he looks at you, Bassan, with a furrowed brow, and he says, I'm disappointed in you, because Bassan, I thought you wanted to be Chisao cool. What is this nonsense about not taking prisoners and altruism and on a dreadnought? What happened to your ambition? What happened to you wanting to play the middle?
Isan will look right at him and say, what happened to letting a piece play out?
What happened to inviting someone on this ship to guide you into the ways of the Chisao cool?
And she was going to smile at him and say, until everything happens, nothing has happened. Nobody has checked my motives, teacher.
Oh, now you're speaking nonsense. Listen to me, Bassan. If you truly wish to understand the ways of the Chisao cool, you need to be able to let go of the way of the Githzerai and be able to, in at least part, embrace the way of the Githyanki. And you saw them today. They are ruthless. They are warriors. They are fighters. And if you mean to be a Chisao cool, you will need to learn to embrace that ferocity.
That ferocity can be honed and pointed. Yes?
You mean to teach the teacher?
That was a
what you're trying
question.
to do?
No, that was a question.
And a rhetorical one, so please continue.
If that's the case, then it can be used in a pointed fashion. It doesn't have to go anywhere. I see it. I take it because I hunger.
Exactly, Bassan.
So
ferocity can be pointed. It can be used. If you're speaking about some plain or ending threat, what is the lives of 4 or 5 crew members of a ship that you need in exchange for millions of lives, billions perhaps, on a planet?
But we did not need that ship at that time. That's not what the stakes were.
Exactly.
So under those specific circumstances, it would have been a poor move tactically. Hunger for hunger's sake.
Or perhaps preparing for the future. such an opportunity may not arise again. So ample a target to take and pluck. I hope, Basan, you'll use this as a learning experience. That veracity and even ruthlessness has its place. Altruism and good can get in the way of objectives, of getting things done. The Githyanki may use their anger and their ruthlessness and their drive for things in a poor way for the glory of Blackith, which is wrong, for it is for the glory of one and for the glory of none more than for glory and loot's sake. But ruthlessness has its place. Good, altruism, morality, codes of honor, oaths, these things can stand in the way of progress for the sake of short-sightedness, short-sighted morality. You must look far ahead, as you have said. You must play 3 pieces ahead. Perhaps that ship that you let pass by might be quite useful in the future. And you may not get the opportunity to seize one again so ripe a target. I'm not saying you should have. I'm not saying you made the wrong decision. I simply mean to say, Basan, use it as a learning experience. There will come a time where ruthlessness will serve you well, and you should not be as close-minded as the Zerai.
I stand on my position that that was not the right opportunity. The stakes were not that high.
I hate to say it, Basan, but the stakes are already that high.
You have much to learn, Basan. I hope you will keep an open mind as we continue our training. For now, I see before me a Githzerai. And if you wish to become Shisao Kul, you will need to open yourself, both morally and psionically. Not just one or the other. And I think that is all we have for today. I will proceed to go get me some food now. And he will turn around and float away as he does from the conversation.
She will look right at Captain Voidlight and just say absolutely nothing.
At no point was common used, right?
Nope.
No, this is all good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just double checking.
She really did everything she could to make it completely private.
Yeah.
Really wanted to roll a spell check just to sit in the corner.
Yeah. It's also a very small ship, and he's a nosy fellow. There's only one way to really know what's going on in your student's mind, and that's to hear their private conversations. Not the most morally whatever thing to do, but that's how he's learning about his student and where they're really at.
We're both warriors, Basan. We're both soldiers. We have our codes. When I think of the future, the path ahead, I feel no choice but to sacrifice my code for the betterment of everything.
Very well.
Do you speak with Adam to get the chance, though?
Ned's looking for the captain right now.
There's a queue outside of the cargo. Basan, do you? I'll say at this point, Ed, you sort of open up the hatch and you see Basan and the captain seemingly having a private conversation.
Yeah, Captain, we need a couple more little, I call them screw nods. Sorry, I was still looking at the workshop, what we needed, probably some conductors. No, not an immediate rush. The air's a little heavy here, and Ed'll Because he that's what he was doing. He was just let cargo. He's not really wasn't looking for him for anything bigger. I wanted
Well,
I just thought small ship. He was still doing that.
try Chaplin. He's probably hidden them all inside the toilet or something.
Oh, it was just more like a budget question. Is Chaplin our numbers guy? That'd be a twist, but yeah.
He's our ship maintenance guy.
All right, yeah. You two need me. I'll find Chaplin.
Bisan will actually leave with Ed.
And Ed's just like doing like a little mental. I need other artificer shit that I can't name. Like he's making a
artificer shit
of a workshop. Yeah, this is a tight ship, Hassan. You seem smart. I've had like a private heavy question I've been meaning to ask someone. That you seem good to ask, but and he'll lean into whisper and says, someone takes like a mean dump on this. We're gonna all smell it, right? That's worrying. This is a very like private ship. I enjoy my personal space. Like I'm a rock, but like I'm not made of rocks. Like people confuse that, and I like to, I like to blend into stuff, and it's just real close quarters here, real close quarters, and I'm wondering if they'll get too close in many ways, not weird ways, but like just thinking about it.
You want a bigger ship. She's
No,
by the way,
no,
she's speaking in gift, by the way.
And then he'll switch to his gift, which is, I would say, like a Spanish teacher that really nails it, but it has like the "Hola, how's it going?" Like it's a thick accent when he speaks gift. But
the Spanish teacher really nails
makes
it. That's the
it
best
makes her smile.
description of anything.
I love that.
and like
Hold on.
temperature run high.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to hyper focus on the bathroom thing, but that's the thing to think about. It's kind of like I've hit in a lot of tight spaces, and that's not always a bad thing, but I worry because sometimes it's like you ever meet someone and you feel like you have a stink on yourself when you talk to them. Like nothing you can say ever lands. We haven't had that, but I feel like, I just think if we had to keep things leveled here, or it might be my own anxiety talking.
You want more space.
I want a space. I'm thinking of making the workshop that, but that feels kind of, I don't know, is that entitled?
No.
No.
The things you do for the workshop help the entire crew. But you tinker, but you work for the crew at large. So no, you should have that space, I think.
And he makes a mental note of that because he just noted down other requests for his space. Thanks for that, son. It's there's I guess I can out this now. I before joining the crew, when I was hiding everywhere, I was hiding with a commonly my smuggler was I believe gives a ride, because now having met Gif Yankee, he definitely wasn't those fuckers, but yeah. That said, though, there was an odd thing where kind of like a "don't ask me, I won't ask you" sort of thing, and so I never asked. But it's like, for one of you to be so far away from all of what you do, what you are, that's got to be for a reason, right?
We call it being lost. I was part of a mission. They call us Rakma, vengeance bands. We were to head off a nautiloid They had Githyanki prisoners already. We had some bad intelligence. I was one of 2 remaining. We were nowhere near Limbo. I can't hold a dreadnought together. I don't know how we survived, but well, Lunar Bow. We got into the sea, and Lunar Bow found us. But you don't just get a ride to Limbo, and so you're lost. And that's a way. It's a common way.
I can relate a lot to that now, seemingly. It's I walked around for most of wartime, most of all time, just with holding a big secret. So, and naturally, there was just a lot of lying, and which is good. It's well, not good, but it was. Well, it became normal, and now I just.
What secret are you hiding? Where do you
That stops him in his tracks. No, it's well. Looks at the sun. This is very important that we're all in agreement of what needs to be done in regards to the prophet. It's like having something stuck in your teeth. You can sleep with it, you can continue to eat with it, but every so often you feel something there. And I really want to clean my teeth, son, and I've never been one for wanting much other than what I had. I liked for a while there. I had everything I need, so but now this is all I want, and I think the captain's in agreement, and I'm in agreement with him. And yeah, he kind of just nervously twirls the tour around. Let's probably find Chaplain, get that workshop in order. And if you need anything new, the armor still looks great. Thanks for that. Well, that's the.
I aim to take his sword.
Come again?
I aim to take his sword right after I take his head. In case you're wondering what my plan is.
I hope to be there to see it happen. And if you need anything more like that, points to the armor that he infused. Please, I know we switch them up, but that's a special piece because it's the last one old Ed made. We'll see what new Ed has to make. And with that, on to this little happy joke, he's gonna go find Chaplain.
We'll say at that point, Chaplain enters into the forward deck. Chaplain, you would have been told by Axbury, says, I think 3 or 4 people have been saying around the ship that they need your help in the workshop. I don't know if anyone's actually ever asked you, so I thought I'd just pass it along.
Oh, good. I love helping out in the workshop.
And you open the hatch, jump in, and Chaplain will emerge in that moment.
Hi!
It's me!
Chaplain, I think we're gonna be roommates because this is kind of like our space, right? And,
yeah.
All right, you wanna claim a corner or something? The lace might be here too, right? I looked around for him.
you'll notice that Zalace's hammock is already hung in a corner of the forward deck.
Nice.
Zalace, you could be there if you want, or you could. To be clear, this is a very tight ship. So,
Yeah.
like, normally, I've talked a lot about spotlight sharing and so on and so forth, but it's a very tight ship. So, I'm going to definitely open it up. Like, if anyone wants to pop in on a conversation at any time, even just for shits and giggles, like, this is a tiny ship. So, go for it, because it will add to the elements of, like, this is a small ship.
Sorry, I think to be fair, if we weren't doing anything, I would most probably be in and around the ballista or in my hammock.
God, so
Anyway,
yeah,
Above
at this
the
point,
table, that
Zalace
was-
also shows up.
Yeah. I was totally trying to tag you into this, Zalace.
Yeah, I mean,
There you are.
Well, let me ask you, Zalace, do you think you were in your hammock?
I would have been in my hammock.
Make me a stealth check.
Stealthy.
Make me a stealth check.
Oh, I get advantage. How good's that?
Yeah.
Oh, 19 plus 6, so yeah, 25.
Sweet. So, Zalace, you heard the entire conversation between Ed and Basan. You were like in your hammock, like having a nap, and then you heard them come in and just kind of like took the cloak of Bass and just kind of like Batmaned yourself in there a little bit, and you heard everything. So you're just chilling in your hammock.
I'll just stay there and just gently swing in my hammock.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. So we'll say at this point, you're like, yeah, that's like Zalace is down here. You look over and see Zalace, like, not Zalace, but his hammock just slowly, like basically tapping against the window as it's trying to swing. And you realize Zalace was here.
I respecting his privacy, but I am going to continue talking. Well, if we find Zalace, I would really like to let him know that whenever we have scraps, whenever we have fights, you know, and this might be belittling to his skills, but we need someone to take shit for us. You know what I mean? I steal it if he has to, but we ain't exactly gonna have a steady supply chain, and I need as much stuff to work off of as possible. So it'd be nice if one of the frontliners had that information to steal stuff that is shiny for us that can use in the workshop. And he's saying it towards the direction of his hammock.
All
Just
he sees
theoretically.
out of the hammock, his thumb just comes up while he's like that, and then he'll go back down.
Nice.
Oh, this sounds like fun. I can help with this. I'll bring you anything I find.
Perfect. And well then, you know, I'll probably claim this spot. And
At that point, when Chaplin says that, I'll just most probably poke my head over and just say to him, Chaplin, not from this ship then. Okay?
Oh, I thought I saw some spare plates and screws and stuff toward the back. I'm not sure.
There is nothing spare.
Not
on
sure
this
what that
ship.
plate's for.
Leave it alone. The ship will fall apart.
and while you two were just talking, Ed just kind of like locked in a little bit on Chaplin. Was like, Chaplin, have you ever had modifications?
No, not since I was made. Honestly, since I was made, I haven't really run into anybody with any technical expertise.
Would you be interested in them?
Oh, absolutely. Anything that can help me do my job better.
Yeah, because I was thinking about that fight there, and like, well, imagine if you could have hovered over, you know.
And like he as much as he can without having a facial expression. I guess maybe like his posture kind of opens up. He seems possibly very excited at this idea. I have wanted to be able to fly for so long. I want the rocket.
That tracks. Well then, let's see what I can cook up. I'm thinking maybe a propeller action or something. And let me see your back real quick.
It turns around very happily.
Okay. One nods over here.
Just Inspector Gadget the fuck out of this guy.
Yeah. Yeah,
We're gonna turn him into
gonna...
we're gonna turn him into Robin Williams by the end of this. He's gonna die happily beside his wife.
Now, everything has to be with your consent and with your choices and options. But I think I can think of a couple ideas that yeah, well, I'm gonna keep that in mind.
All right,
And,
this sounds fun.
Above the table, I think it'd be cool if some of your future future match spells you get, we can kind of play with
Yeah.
they're like because I'm sure they if you learn fly, it'd be cool if it's we're gonna turn you into Clank from Ratchet and Clank. That's the
Hell yeah.
that's the trick.
I like it.
Love Ratchet and Clank, baby. Jack and Daxter, Ratchet and Clank, best games. So Mr. Voidlight, as you go to perhaps leave the cargo hold, the door will open and Etherith will sort of crawl down and sort of stand interposingly and then look past you to where Apoxy is, and Etherith's eyes will glow purple. Apoxy, make me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh no.
Sorry, I'm trying to find my character sheet. Okay, it's a 15.
A 15. The doors behind Etherith slam shut. The only thing you can see in the dark is the glowing purple draconic eyes of Etherith. And Apoxy suddenly opens their metal maw and lets out this most starts laughing hysterically. Just sort of and falls to the ground and starts almost as if in the very Joker-esque, where it's laughing against her will and it's almost painful. It's rolling on the ground, sort of laughing, and it all drowns out Varsh as the room takes a blackish purplish tone. And you will see standing around the various corners of the room the three goddesses that are Hecate. And Apoxy's laughter sort of drowns into the background, and everything seems to almost slow down as if time begins to sort of stop until she stops moving and her flailings on the ground. Etherith sitting poised at the stairwell, looking down at her. And you will hear the words of Hecate say, "Captain Voidlight, you debate ruthlessness. I wonder, Captain, why you hide from means that might make your ends so much more expedient."
I'd like to keep the crew intact. And Bisan is resistant to such means. And I can't deny it.
Yeah, he says, "She will do one of two things, Captain Voidlight. She will recognize that you and this crew are her best chance at getting what she wants, or she will slink off back to the Githzerai, creatures of inaction and meditation. She will either be too weak of will for the task or not. Ruthlessness, Captain Voidlight. It is your path to walk, but it is one fit for my disciple."
I understand.
"I do not impose this upon you, for your path is yours to walk, Captain Varsh Voidlight. But Captain, if you stand in a room of 10 people and speak of something that must be done, how many can you afford to offend? What of a room of 20? What of a crew of 50? Will you take every single opinion under advisement and try and appease every single one? so that you cannot do what you must do. You are the captain. It is the crew's job to follow.
Were we a larger crew, were we a true military force, hierarchy might apply more strictly. We are the remnants of what remains of the New Dawn. We are small in number. It's hard to impose so greatly on friends. I do not know if they even fully trust my judgment, or if they have really truly vested me with the authority that a captain should wield.
They impose upon you, Captain Vosh Voidlights. You are to lead this ship. Epoxy, with her quibblings about morality, Bassan about her nonsense of not going too fast for fear. These are two amongst the many. Whereas all others, Captain Voidlight, would have stood at your back. Decide for yourself if you will be a captain that bends to every whim, or a captain who takes what he needs to take to achieve his ends. Boldness wins the day. Vosh Voidlight, inaction is for the weak. And with that, speed will begin to return as Epoxy's flailing begins to accelerate once more, and the laughter continues. And then the moment that time sort of reaches back to its proper resumed pace, Epoxy's sort of flailing and yellings and laughters will cease immediately, and the purple eyes of Etherith will diminish. Epoxy, you just wake up on the ground. You're like, must have fallen over or something like that.
Oh, you're still here, Captain.
Are you all right? You must have had a bad dream.
I didn't even know I was capable of that.
Neither did I.
Sorry if I stumbled against you.
Well, as long as you're not hurt.
I think I'll be fine.
Etherith sort of, like a cat would against your leg, sort of almost comes up and sort of like, does that sort of like affectionate thing against you, Voidlight, as if like, it's very like on and off, as if like Etherith was like possessed a moment ago, and now Etherith is just sort of this like kind of affectionate companion that she ever once was.
She always just barges in, saying things that in my heart I already knew.
Sorry, are you still talking to me?
No, just
okay.
Thinking to myself, and Etherith, I give the dragon a little scritch. And then I depart. Properly this time. Hopefully no one will interrupt me.
You open up the door. Savash, your lacquer's like, Captain, I want to place a complaint. The snacks have been inadequate. I was told there would be food and board on this ship, and your cook does not know what he's doing. I've had students cook better than him.
What a shame. Truly, I am very sorry. Perhaps if you contributed in some way, maybe the food would be better.
I contribute plenty. Zalace and Bassan they're still working on new abilities and such, but Rome wasn't built in a day. Never
Where?
mind that saying. That's from another. That's another wild space system. Don't worry about that. But anyway, I am performing important mentoring instruction.
Yes, well, a great cook wasn't born in a day either. He's learning.
Truer wisdom has never been said. You impress me, Captain Voidlight. Say, have you ever heard of our Lord and Savior, psionic astral power?
I am already being vested with so much astral power that I'm kind of intimidated, so I'll just let the psionics be left to you and the others.
Oh, very interesting. But I got enough on my plate, and he'll just like go sit on the couch and leave you be. Okay, is there anything else anyone wants to talk about in the meantime? Or do aboard the ship in the meantime? Sounds like, yep. All right, we've just about made it. As you make your way ever onward through cruise speed, the rest of your day will go on just fine. Epoxy or sentry rest is had, and the majority of the crew can go down for a long rest.
Woohoo.
Nothing happens that evening. You are officially 9 days out. Day number. Nothing happens that day or that night. You're 8 days out. The next day, nothing happens. Nothing happens that night either. The next day, nothing. Oh, never mind. All right. Pretty steady flying for the next 2 days, but eventually and inevitably, the wild space will rear its most interesting head and see if it has something to show you. Also, as a note, it is payday for the crew. So I believe that will you'll need to drop 4 gold. Someone will need to drop 4 gold for Celine and Jord.
I'll do it as I'm captain.
Fair enough. Let's see.
Well done,
Let's
Captain. I like it.
Would anyone like to roll D100 to see what happens to you on this on the afternoon of the 3rd day? Apoxy, go right ahead. D100.
I kind of feel like rolling some dice, so I hope it's a bad roll.
The first number was a 1. Okay, I got a 19.
19. Oh, this is cool. Roll me a D6, please, and a
Oh my
D4, and let
goodness.
me know what the respective totals are.
3 for the D4 and 6 for the D6. So total 9.
9. Wow, really? That's interesting. You guys are pulled out of cruise speed. Ed will say you're up to bat. Everybody, as it seems to be the routine here, as the captain's established, that everybody sort of mans battle stations when you're pulled out of cruise speed. So everybody, Solis is on the ballista, Basan, you hit the mangonel, and everyone just sort of gets ready just in case. And you have this moment of like waiting. Everyone's looking for a target. And you hear a very interesting sound out there in wild space. You hear this low rumbling, very grand but low rumbling sound. This
Okay, no.
And very quickly emerging, you see these much larger than your ship, gargantuan, beautiful whales. This pod of whale-like creatures with glowing white eyes on either side of its face. There's 3 of them, two large, fully grown ones, and a younger one. Like a child, their child. So you see a family of these creatures. If anyone wants to roll a nature check to see if they are aware of what this is, what these are, they may go right ahead.
18.
12 plus
18.
4.
15.
That was 4, Ed?
12 plus 4.
12 plus
16.
4, 16. 5. Okay, so you've never seen this Basan. Maybe have like a cool moment, but Voidlight, you certainly, Chaplain.
I would like to ask out loud what they are.
Okay, you're like, what are they? But Apoxy and Ed, you know of these. I'm going to say you haven't seen them, but you know of these. Chaplain, you have seen these before in your wanderings of the Astral Sea long ago. These are great celestial creatures known as Kindori. They don't have mouths. They're celestial creatures. The leading edge of their body is dotted with small, glowing, bright-beamed eyes that light the way forward. That they use to disorient predators to make their escape. They communicate one another over long distances by sending flashes of light from their eyes across wild space. And they draw their nourishment from the sun and the stars themselves. That's how they actually feed themselves. But they are, and they're certainly large enough to have a gravity plane and an air envelope. So they are considered to be a boon and a blessing to anyone lost in wild space or at the Astral Sea. They are extremely old, or they can become extremely old. And if they become sick, they can actually have vines grow across their bodies. They're beautiful, large creatures that can actually travel great distances. But the great shame of these creatures is that pirates and sort of lesser than creatures will kill them and extract magic from their skeletons to create Spelljammer. It is one of the less reputable ways of achieving that, but they can be killed and turned into Spelljammer helms. But it's a very wasteful process, as you like kill it and you take like just a little bit of like the fluid from its spine, and the rest of the carcass is useless. So it is it's a very shameful, like horrible act. But anyway, that is what you would know of Kindori. They're beautiful and very and most of the time peaceful creatures out in the vast astral wild space sea.
I think especially if Ed knows that they get like they get preyed on, I think he is gonna give them space, but he's also gonna position the Spelljammer in a way that like kind of like would let any potential hunters be like, this is mine, faking it so they have safe passage. And he's gonna do that.
Sort of, yeah, the damselfly wings are, and you do begin to recognize sort of like, they begin to move a little bit more, slowly, but a little bit more like languidly, perhaps defensively, and you sort of shut down the wing flutter and just sort of like go to a drift just to seem unintimidating. And then they seem to calm with that. It was a good move.
All hands, you can leave your battle stations. You may just want to watch this.
I know I do. And that's gonna go up top to just kind of soak in a little inspiration. Plus, I just fucking love whales, dude. They're the best.
So
Whales are pretty
cool.
cool.
I am mesmerized.
Yeah, you see the Kindori.
Picture.
Yes, you see the Kindori sort of make their way by. The young one is sort of like underneath and between the two of them. One is larger than the other, and they just sort of drift along very gently. And you do see that they're the three white eyes they have along the side. And I want you to make an animal handling check for like how like peaceful and unintimidating you make the ship seem to them.
My goodness.
That's an 18 plus 1, 19.
A 19. You see that one of them, like the three eyes on the side, goes like, and it almost seems to like wink at you, as if to like be friendly. And you don't know what that wink means, but it's communicating with you.
Yeah. Can I use Sonic Whispers against it?
Sure. What is the range on that?
It doesn't give me a range.
Probably just within sight. Anyone, as long as the creature's within sight.
Oh, sorry.
I think it's you require sight to like activate it, but then once you've got it like on a target, you
mile.
should be within a mile of them.
Oh, a sight within a mile? Yeah, because you're pulled out when you hit a mile of such a creature. So you're within range. So you yeah, you just at the extent of your range, you throw your brow a little bit, but you make that connection with all three if you want,
Yeah.
or more. But who would you like to link to?
Well, all of them, and I just want to, knowing what's going on, I'll just say,
Got it.
we'll keep an eye out till you're gone. Be free. Hurry up.
Yeah. Do you need to share a language in order to be able to communicate or anything like that, or do you just?
No, it says you and the creature, you don't need to speak a common language. You understand each other.
Excellent. So with that, you connect with all three. You say like on you go. We'll keep an eye out for you. You're good. And you will. And again, it's not language so much as like almost like emotion that you get from them rather. But it is a, it is an emotion of relief and genuine thanks. And as you do that very reactively, you see them sort of. They begin to sort of like pick up the pace and they move their great tails along. And as they reach the edge of that mile range, you will see them just sort of take off into cruise speed into wild space.
So I just shout up to Ed. They're clear, Ed. They're all good.
I don't think they can act like. I think I'm giving them cruise speed, but I feel like it's just cool that they can do that. I'm taking a little liberty there.
That
I hope you
sounds
don't
so
mind.
awesome.
But yeah, you see these beautiful celestial astral whales depart. As a fun fact, Varsh, that I'll say that you exclusively know per your background, they're very peaceful creatures, but they do have natural predator. They do have natural enemies. Of course, one of which is, Kadori whalers, but also lunar and solar dragons.
Luckily,
Oh, we can run into those fuckers.
Yeah.
But obviously, like of a big enough size, like these are gargantuan creatures, right?
Not gonna care about a little wormling.
Yeah, the wormling is not gonna be a problem. Okay. And with that, the damselfly can. So sorry, Ed. Did you want to roll some dice? Did you want to attack one of the Kadori?
No.
I just kidding.
Never, dude.
Yep. You guys take off back into wild space now that the Kadori have been given passage. And you guys all go to sleep that night. Yeah, that was a fun one. I'm glad we did that. All right. Making our way. Day 4 since we started the session. We hit the 5. Got 5 days left. Okay, something might happen today. Who wants to roll a D100?
I'll do it again.
All right, go for it. Go for it. You rolled good last time.
Oh, 9 this time. Okay, 93.
93. Interesting. Roll me another one. Roll me another D100.
Oh, shoot. 0 counts as a 0 for the 10s, right?
Yep.
Okay, just 8.
Huh. Cool. You guys find yourself once more pulled out of wild space a couple days later. And as you man your stations, you are going to see
Awesome.
Yeah. You are going to see you guys, and you see flying towards you, almost like a mirror, is another damselfly ship. And you look really intensely, Varsh. Go ahead and make me a perception check.
16.
16. You see that similarly, you're looking off and you see like almost mirror-like, you see another Hadozi looking at you, and you guys have like you have one of those moments. Yeah, you see that it seems to be a Hadozi ship.
I go up top deck and yell out in Hadozi.
So you guys are like, do we fire as the two ships are sailing by? Like the two ships are just like everyone's going crazy. You see all of the other Hadozi sort of like run up to the top of the ship, and Barsh is like, and they're all like, and they're all just like they're all communicating. What they're basically saying is, I am Captain Trig Kalu. Pleasure to meet you, sir, Captain. How fares your travels out here?
There was some Kandori a few days back, and had a run-in with some Githyanki, but we came out unscathed. I am Captain Voidlight.
Kandori, you say? Fine creatures, excellent. Well, that is wonderful to hear. Does your ship require anything? It is important that we wild spaces look out for one another. You're doing all right over there?
This might seem like a odd request. Parts and Ed, get over here. Trade hands with Celine.
Well, do I have to scratch under my armpits too? I've never done that.
The what? The scratches under your. Oh, do you speak Hadozi?
No, I don't. But
so Ed comes up and starts going like, "Ooh,
what the?" Stop!
Yeah, and all of them are like.
Oh no! Did I offend him? I didn't mean to offend. Yeah,
I say, sir, did your man just tell us to go fuck ourselves?
No, he's being strangely insensitive and doesn't know what he's saying. Well, they're offering trade. You said you wanted things.
Absolutely. I love a set of Smith's tools to start.
We have a spare set. We'd be willing to trade. We require. We'd always use a couple extra rations and maybe some coin to go along with it.
Well, paid a good man, Cap. Ed gives Varsh a very like, yeah, it's on you, buddy. Tap on the back.
So they cost 20 gold, so they'll like. They'll take whatever distribution you want. They want a couple. They wouldn't mind some rations, but if you'd rather just hand over 20 gold,
I'll just hand over 20 gold.
All right, and with that, they will. The ship will sort of like come up next to each other and sort of bridge, and they'll sort of. Some of their crew will come on board and like bring the smith's tools and sort of lug it on. And one of the Hadozi. Well, first, there's two things of note. It's a seemingly entirely Hadozi crew until like. One of them comes up, sort of like hauling the smith's tools, and you see a drow, who's just like working away on the ship. Just this one drow guy who's like, and then goes back onto the deck. And then as one of them hauls it onto the ship and hands it to Ed, you look over at one of these shipmates, Barsh, and you recognize one of them, and you two lock eyes as you recognize at Solar Sails from the New Dawn.
Oh, Ed!
He goes, and you know, he's, but he's going like, Varsh, is that you?
It is. I thought everyone on the New Dawn had fallen. It's
me too. Is Chaplain with you? And Zelise? I was hiding. And he just like gives you a big hug, and he goes, I was hiding up in the canvas, up in the crow's nest. I was so scared and I was hiding. Is Zelise and Chaplain with you? I saw them come back on the deck when they were taking everything.
They were with us here, and I kind of called them out. It's that. He's alive.
And he loses his shit. And he goes over to you, Chaplain, and he gives you a big monkey hug. And you two, Chaplain, he gives you a little hug, but mostly Chaplain, because you two have been together for ages.
Yeah.
And he goes, Chaplain, I can't believe you made it out alive. You're okay.
Hey, me too. I thought you were gone. I had to get myself and Zelise off the ship, and I was sad that I had to leave you behind.
Yeah, I was so scared. I saw you and Zelise come back on the ship, and I couldn't even move. I was so terrified by everything that had happened. I thought it was the last one.
Well, it's great to see you, and you have a beautiful brand new ship.
Yeah, I'm crewing on this ship. I'm doing a little boasting work here. The Void Winder, it's called. It's not bad. It's not bad work.
Hey, I think the it sounded to me like Ed and Varsh were looking for some extra any spare parts you have, nuts and bolts, anything like that, would probably work for us if you have any.
Like, oh yeah, let me get you some. And he starts coming back with like all kinds of scraps, and you see like this Captain Krig Kalu and the rest of the crew going like, oh no, like you get the sense that At is the chaplain of their ship. And they're like, at a certain point, they like stop At, and they're like, okay, enough. One of the wings of the damsel flash that goes and like just falls off. And they're like, and he's like, I can fix it. And he like runs back aboard the ship and he like does a little quick patch job, a little jerry rigging. Then he comes back. He goes, hey, listen, I'm making my way. These guys have been really great, but they've been making their way back to the Rock of Brawl. You guys headed back to the Rock of Brawl?
No, we're actually heading further out into wild space. We have a job.
Okay, well, maybe I'll see you guys there. I just got back into realm space. I got picked up by these guys a couple days ago, and we're heading back in. So I hope I'll see you there. Are you gonna stay in realm space for very long?
For the foreseeable future, I think we'll be heading back to the Rock of Brawl once this job is done.
Incredible, amazing. I mean, we can meet up there and hang out and stuff. It'd be good to see you all. Talk.
Absolutely.
I'll tug on Varsh's sleeve real quick and kind of, not necessarily whisper, but say quietly to him, can we see if they have any supplies for healer's kit? Mine's almost half empty.
Sure. Any supplies for a healer's kit?
The captain goes to open his mouth and At goes, oh sure, yeah, let me go get you some. And he runs off, the captain. And he comes, and basically he's going to restock your healing supply.
Great, thank you.
Yeah. Is there anything else you need? And the captain sort of goes, hey, I think, you know what? We're fully supplied at this point, and it has been an excellent day of trade. Captain Voidlight, it has been good doing business with you. It sounds like we might meet you on the Rock of Brawl. Excellent.
Be on the lookout for Githyanki on the way back. As I said, we were waylaid mid-journey.
I see. Well, thank you for the notice. We will try and keep swift and veer wide. Good thanks for that. Incredible. Well, have a good day. And he will push At back onto the ship. And he goes, bye, it's so good to see you guys. See you guys later. See you soon. And their ship will, and you guys can veer off from one another. And as you guys are making your way to the edge of the mile, you see one of the damselfly wings from their ship go, and then you guys hit the cruise speed and take back off.
You think they'll make it?
They'll be fine. They'll be fine. Would you imagine they die out in wild space?
No, don't say
they'll
that.
They'll be fine. They'll be fine. That's a good bosun.
Here you go.
And with that, yeah, go ahead.
No, I just said, here you go, Ed. So I'll hand him over whatever pile of loose fittings we got.
Oh yeah, this is good. This is good stuff. Captain, the more of these friendly ships we meet, the more like, exchange of information and whatnot. But whatever, we can use all the help we can get. And with that, Ed will walk towards the workshop with all the new toys in tow.
All right, fantastic. And if there's anything else, we'll continue our voyage. Day 6 evening goes by just fine. Oh man, so many stuffs happening. We'll get there one day. Ah, very cool. Excellent. You guys are dropped out of wild space on again the after. It seems that this all happens in the afternoon always, and you are going to see perhaps a very comforting sight. You all hit your battle stations, and you're going to see coming out of wild space is a very familiar ship, which many of you have served on before, or type of ship you've served on before. My size mod isn't working still, but you guys will see a star moth, one of the ships of the Elven Armada, sort of come out of wild space and begin to drift by. You will hear from the side of the ship, just like it's seemingly the captain will come out and just say, ahoy, is everything faring well?
Aye, sir. This is the Dawn's Return. I am Captain Voidlight.
Excellent. Well, be cautious. You're heading into deep space now. No telling what you might find out there, but be careful.
Understood. A few days back, we encountered some Githyanki raiders.
I see. Thank you for the heads up. We will head in that direction immediately. And he'll turn back and he'll say something in Elvish to the rest of the crew, and the Star Moth will, with its large wings, sort of beat through wild space until it reaches the edge of the mile and take off.
Sort of wipe my brow. Surprisingly questioned me about Voidlight. Back to cruise.
And with that, day 7 goes by. Oh god, come on, pen. We're so close. We can almost taste it. It's gonna be 14. Okay. Interesting. Okay, give me a moment. I just gotta see how this all works. Day 7 goes by fine. No, you're not going to be aware of whatever's happening.
Oh, I can do this while you set up or something. But in one of those travel days after getting the Smith's tools, I'll start, repairing and salvaging some of these torn, destroyed armors.
Got it. At a certain point, during the night of the 7th, maybe Ed, you're just like working away in the night. You were gonna hear sort of like a double tap on the deck, which basically means that Celine needs to speak to someone while she's piloting.
I'll go to her.
Yep, you go to her.
Yeah,
as you go to her, you see that the Spelljammer helm is like the magical currents along the side of it. The glowing currents are sort of like they're seemingly like almost like losing magic. And she goes, yeah, we're slowing down. The ship is being damaged somehow, and we can't. I don't know what's going on.
Can I see if it's being like siphoned or we entered some kind of field? Yeah,
make me a an investigation check.
Okay, that's cool.
And as a pilot, I will give you advantage because this is your, area of expertise.
Nice. 17 plus 7, 24.
24. You know what's happening. A very common thing that happens in wild space is sometimes a ship will pick up jammer leeches while in wild space, which means that they're basically tiny parasitic entities that feed on the magical energy of the Spelljammer helm. And when they lodge themselves onto the ship, they will start damaging the ship from the outside. So you get the sense that right now your ship is taking damage from one of these leeches.
Oh shit, leeches! Go get Chaplain. We gotta do a quick clean here, and I'm gonna kind of start powering the ship down and not give them any sources of like food, as like power it down as much as I can without like literally just floating aimlessly.
Yeah.
Like just
Well, you would know that the that they're actually feeding on the hull of the ship, like the magic, but also the hull of the ship. So the ship's taking damage.
all right. Yeah, actually get Chaplin and any other extra hands, and let's start. We got to shed these leeches. They get pretty nasty pretty fast.
All right. Maybe you grab Chaplin, and you guys can do a little like walk on the outside of the hall. If the two of you would like to make investigation checks to try and seek out leeches, go ahead and roll me investigation checks.
Chaplin, you think your goats would eat these things?
Maybe. I bet that maybe the giant owl would. As a matter of fact, you know what? Let's do that. Let's get up
And what was his check again, Ryan? Sorry.
Investigation.
Okay, that's
Investigate
11
all.
plus 7, 18.
18. Yeah, you're gonna find 4 leeches have attached themselves to the underside of like the back where the cargo hold would be. And you see them. They're nasty little things. They're literally just like they're almost like just scorpion tails, like fleshy scorpion tails. And the base of them have sort of like suction cupped themselves on the bottom, and the little spikes, like that would be the end of the tail, is like driven itself into the ship, and it's just kind of like twisting. It's just sort of like scraping away the edge of the hull and just like tearing away at the parts of the hull and consuming it.
So seeing where they are, I think Ed's gonna actually run back down and look for the captain or the dragon if he sees it first. Well, no, he can't command it, but he's gonna look for the captain because I don't think Ed can get down there with ease.
Yeah, you find the captain. Ed, you found yourself, or Varsh, you find yourself awoken in the middle of the night from your hammock by Ed.
We're gonna need
We
Ethereth
stopped.
to eat some leeches. He says that like right away.
Okay, I get up. Ethereth, where are the leeches?
They're about.
And it's
they're
going
on the whole, but I'll tell you exactly what Ryan said they are.
Yeah,
Maybe
you find them. Yeah, you guys find them, and Ethereth will sort of come around the side. You know that there's a very particular way to deal with jammer leeches, and that is at a range. Because if you try and scrape them off in melee, they're going to uninsert themselves from the ship and try and insert themselves in you, and that hurts. So Ethereth will sort of reverse gravity, hit the side of the ship, and like spew ice breath all over them, and there'll be a little bit of a process. They'll sort of unhinge themselves and kind of like start like 10-foot like leech crawling themselves towards Ethereth, and I think just kind of backs up, and then once the breath recharges, we'll blast them again. And then they'll find themselves destroyed, but when they are reduced to 0 hit points, they sort of begin to expand with magical residual energy they've absorbed from the helm and sort of explode. And the creature attuned. And you hear Celine go, "Ah, fuck, ow!" From down in the helm. But they're dealt with.
Ed'll go back to the helm and be like, he looked like super worried.